Here are 5 traits of a top 1% player in Rainbow Six Siege. And pay attention because the last one is very important, and this is what I look for in a rank stack. So if you ever want to play with me or any other high level player, you're going to want to do these. And if you perform these 5 things or even know what they are, they're going to skyrocket you and put you above the competition. The first one is your network. So this is talking about the people you know, the people that you play with. So I want you to close your eyes real quick and name 5 players off the top of your head that you've played with recently, that you play with a lot. Think about if those are high caliber players. If you were to run into a stack that's a high caliber, are you going to be able to beat them, and why or why not? Now, if you are some people who still play with their school friends, that's okay. But you have to understand the sacrifices that you're not always going to get the best pick of people. You want to make sure you're playing with people that are able to perform at a high level. Now, your network can also affect your reputation. If you want to have a good network of players, obviously you're not going to get it by being a jerk that no one wants to play with, but have a good reputation. You know, be nice and be respectful to every player that you come across. You know, don't trash talk too much, but you know, just play your own game, be a good player, and be known that you're really nasty at aiming, you give good call outs, or maybe you play a certain role really well. But having a good reputation is the key to getting your network higher. Now, once you kind of get up, you know, you start networking with a lot of better players, then this is where you want to reach out to maybe like the T3 players that play a lot of competitive players. Are probably the highest champs in the world right now, because those are ahead of most of the competition. So if you can make friends with any kind of competitive player, pro league player even, you know, try to get in their stacks, try to go on their stream, say hello, my name's here, I play at this rank, and don't beg people to play. If you want to play with high level people, you don't beg to play, because if you come across as a fanboy, every time someone comes across me, they say, hey, Athieno, I want to play. I'm a champion. I don't care if you're a champion. I want to play with you. If I see that you're good, you beat me in ranked, or maybe you do well, you perform well, I want to play with you. Same with a ton of other players too. The second trait of a high level player in this game is your unpredictability. Now, when I say unpredictable, don't think I'm talking about goals just hiding in random corners all the time, because that's not going to work in high ranks. You're going to get zoned out, and it's gonna be frustrating. When I say unpredictability, it means that you don't exactly attack the same exact way every time. Now, it's important that you build consistency, which is what we're going to talk about later in the video, but you want to be a little unpredictable, because if you do the same thing twice, good players will adapt to the same thing that you just did last round. So for example, if on Villa, right, we're attacking the master bomb site, if you always go for the triple wall, always go master bathroom side, all they had to do is point kind of one spot on the map. But what if you were to come from behind the staircase, nade from below, come study side over? You know, when you kind of just, you know, you don't have to even do rocket science, you know, just attack the opposite side of what your team is doing. And sometimes that can catch a lot of people off guard and get you a free kill. So being understanding when you need to be unpredictable, when you should hit the backside and make that play for your team, is what's going to separate you a lot from winning and losing rounds. Now, another thing with unpredictability is your pacing. You know, sometimes if you see an opening in sight, but take that quickly with a pre-placed drone. You know, some people are still setting up in sight and they get caught off guard because they're still setting up while you just bum rush them because your pacing was off, right? They would think, oh, this guy's not going to spawn peek. Oh, this guy's not going to peek this angle. Oh, he's not going to flank. But you mix it up, and that kind of helps you be a little bit harder to read as a player. A really good example of this meta right now is a swing or be swung meta. Is that you're like, oh, this alibi main's not going to swing me. Oh, why is this guy playing so aggressive all of a sudden? Well, as annoying as it is, but it is something that is working. So being able to be aggressive and passive at certain times on demand, a powerful trait. Now, unpredictability can actually work, and it's very, very simple. It can even be as simple as not going to the same bomb site twice in a row. If you know exactly what you need to fix and you are confident it's going to win you that round, sure, but don't go the same bomb site after you lost it once. Try a different bomb site and come back again. And maybe even going like a tertiary bomb site the second time is going to throw people off. Now, for example, an attack, you know, you don't, if you won, this is a big rule I have. If you won a certain bomb site doing this certain attack strategy, whether it's a direct, let's say you do a direct take, right, on a certain bomb site, performing at the same time often really doesn't work, because the enemy team is going to over adapt to exactly what you just did. Trust me, you will notice this pattern. Now, if you're on a map that is like very, very basic and it can work twice, by all means go for it. But you have to understand that you have to pay attention to how the round went. If you absolutely destroy them, sure, go for it again. But if it was kind of close, you might want to try a different bomb site or a different setup. The third trait of a top 1% player in Siege is your survivability. Now, survivability is important, especially in high ranks, because that's what really makes the round consistent and overall make you a hard egg to crack. Now, this is even for attack or defense. For example, on defense, if you are always, if you guys are having a lot of early deaths, no refrags, so base refrags basically mean there's no follow-up to after someone is dead, to even out the man count, then you're kind of, you're attacking at a bumpy, man advantage. But understanding when you should be staying alive and when your life should matter is very, very important. Sometimes in a 4v2, people lose these rounds because they can't stop peeking, or maybe they don't have a person behind them to refrag them, right? So understanding when to push on the brakes, when to stop being aggressive, and when to be passive is very, very important. But I'm not saying you should completely stop everything, but you should understand when it's good to be passive versus aggressive, and your survivability matters the most. Now, a really good example on an attack, do you ever find yourself trying to all right, we're going to do this take and it's going to go really well, but then someone gets spawn peeked, someone gets randomly picked off, and then now you lost your nomad, you lost your thermite, and then now kind of things are all over the place. You're in 3v5 now. The survivability of even surviving the first minute of the round is important. So make sure your life is not going out too early. And if you are finding yourself dying quickly, you need to slow down or reanalyze how you're entering the building. And survivability also comes down to your aim and mechanics. Are you winning your 1v1s? High level ranks, if you're not winning your ones, it's really going to bring down your percentage of winning the round. So it could even be as simple as winning your gunfights. If you're not winning your gunfights, then you have your aim and mechanics that you need to work on. But your survivability throughout the round is very, very important, because that's when opportunities can come your way. The fourth trait of a top 1% player in Rainbow Six Siege is mental understanding. Now, this means mental fortitude as well. I know a lot of players in high level ranks, even in the top 1%, well, pretty rarely actually, that have a really bad mental. And I'm not saying these guys have to have the iron mind like I do and shit, but what I'm saying is that they understand, crap happens sometimes, and sometimes you can't really, make up for that. Let's say you happen to get one tapped on accident through a wall, or maybe the game glitches out, or maybe, you lose a gunfight when you shouldn't have to, Little things, just kind of learning how to brush things off is very, very important. I know it might sound easy right now, but when it happens in a round, when you're in the moment, it can be very, very easy to frustrate and let your emotions take over during the round. For example, like if you fail to clutch a 1v1, or maybe you fail to mav the wall, and it's not soft anymore, little things like that, or maybe even your teammate not watching your own flank drone. I know that can be frustrating, but little things like that, you just have to brush off and move on. Another thing from mental understanding is understanding that everybody has bad games. Now, you have bad games where you might go 0-7, or maybe even 2-5 one game, but the next game you go 13-5. So, things, like I said, things are going to go up and down, but you just learn how to brush it off and not let the bad days refine you. And when these things happen, dealing with toxic players is one of the easiest ways to drain your mental and really ruin your experience. I know these guys can kind of be annoying, but the best thing to do is mute these guys or not give them any of your energy. Toxic people are very, very known for being negative at you for no reason, because they come from a hurtful place and they're trying to put it onto you. So just ignore that, and you will see yourself kind of enjoying the game a lot more. To be honest, the Siege community is full of weirdos. Now, the fifth trait and the last most important one that we've mentioned in the video is consistency. Now, when I say consistency, it means, are you able to perform at the same caliber every single round? This means that are your habits consistent? Are you always shooting default cams? Are you always joining out this room? Are you always leaving a flank cam when you go to this room? Are you always checking this room? It's not like you're kind of winging it every round, but you have a kind of mental checklist in your mind of what you should be doing. And this consistency applies for all 4 of these things that we talked about so far, especially for survivability. If you're always putting yourself, if you find yourself, this round, I'm going to go chase after the roamer, or this round, I'm going to try this play, or this play, I'm going to, it's okay to try different things and adapt to your situation. But if you're always trying a new thing without a certain plan in mind, then you're not going to have a lot of consistency, which is going to matter when you go up against real good players. And it's very good to be consistent at setting up plays by yourself or with a teammate, because with a teammate, you could be like, hey, I know you're able to read the situation and be like, hey, let's go for a flank. Hey, let's open up this wall. Yo, double up with me. Let's kill this guy. Just free frag this guy. Or even if by yourself, if you're solo queuing, it's a 3v5. Okay, I know every single time I can do this, if I can win a gunfight or two, then we can get a better man advantage. And you're really good at getting that one kill that evens out the round and potentially wins you the round. So being able to consistently have your service at hand is very, very important. And when you're a consistent player and you go up against inconsistent players, they might be kind of good, but their weaknesses are really going to show. And when you're really consistent at capitalizing on those weaknesses, you're going to find yourself beating a lot of players that you didn't even know you could do. Now, even outside of the game, it's very important that you guys have good sleep, you're eating correctly, and you have hobbies outside of the game. You know, Siege at the end of the day is a video game and you shouldn't take it that serious. Obviously, that's a little cliche coming from me, but I play the game for a living. I've been playing it for like 8 years of my life. But a lot of you guys watching this just want to not be bad and not want to suck. And if you're watching this video, then you're already putting yourself ahead of a ton of other people. Going to the gym, you know, going out with some friends, go watch some anime or whatever you want to do. Go do some work when you come home. Is all good hobbies to have outside of Siege, because Siege is not good if you're always, you know, just cooping yourself up in your room playing this game. And those are the 5 traits to help you become a top 1% player in Rainbow Six Siege. If this video did help you, be sure to leave a like and check out this video right here. I think it's going to help you out a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.